You are now listening to Regular Guys Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Regular Guys Podcast. We're not going to lie, we took a week off, but man, do we miss you guys so much. Obviously, a lot has happened. For instance, last time you saw me, I had the beautiful mustache. Now it is gone, unfortunately. I just wasn't feeling it. I gave it one last chance, and I just wasn't feeling it. It was just time to go. So, um, cry with me as I didn't name the mustache, but it was time, man. Jake was over here saying I look like a dad. It was just time. But we are back, regular guys. I'm your host again for this week, Matty Ice. Jake, tell the people what is good, man.
What's up, guys? Yeah, we had a week off. It was kind of good, kind of needed. We're refreshed. We had a lot to talk about, especially with the NBA, but we missed it. We've been planning all week. Hopefully, everything goes as planned, and we're happy to be here with you guys.
Yeah, we have a really good show. Our theme for this week is top 10 players right now. So that's top 10 players in today's league, not top 10 players overall. Of course, we're going to go off topic. Julio Jones was traded within this last week. As you may have seen, we're going to touch a little bit on Karen Rodgers, aka Aaron Rodgers, if you will. And then the NBA, of course, where everyone's attention is for the most part. We'll continue our theme with top 10 players right now. And of course, obviously, because we had no show last week, round one ended. So we're going to touch up on that, give our brief round one recap over each series that happened. And then we're going to continue with our 3 words to explain the second round of the playoffs that are going on. And of course, as each show ends with the hype, we reached out to you guys, and we could tell you guys missed us too. We had many people who reached out to us to let us know what they were hyped for. So we look forward to giving those shout outs to those who shared with us as well. So to begin our show, top 10 players in the NFL. So just to kind of elaborate, this is literally, there's really no right answer to this because it's
Remember
all,
that.
yes, it's all opinion based. There's really no right answer to this. I mean, for all I know, you could literally, for those of you watching, you could put your whole entire top 10 favorite players from your team there. Obviously, you will see where our list is. We have a little twist. Normally, we go over our themes before the show, kind of who we're going with. Me and Jake have not told each other what our list consists of. So this is going to be really good. Again, if you're watching us on YouTube, we welcome you because you get to see our faces, but also in other platforms as well. We welcome you guys for listening to us, starting your Monday mornings off with us as well. So I think I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna go first on this one. I'll let
Go
Jake go
ahead. Do
first on
you?
JJ.
Do you?
So for top NBA, top NFL, I'm actually going to start from number 10, and I'm going to work my way down. Number 10 was actually kind of hard for me, but I made the decision because of the simple fact he is the best offensive lineman today. My number 10, I went with Big Q, Quentin Nelson. It was tough. I wanted to go Deshaun because of respect for Deshaun, but the only reason why Deshaun didn't make it, and I know he can't control this, was just because of the losing record. I wanted to put Deshaun because of the simple fact without him, they go 0 for 16. I mean, that's just plain and simple. But I went Quentin Nelson because to me, he is the best offensive lineman today. I mean, I'm not sure if offensive linemen had highlight tapes before him. They might have. I could be wrong, but I feel like it's more hyped up now because of Big Q. Number 9, I went with the defensive player of the year in TJ Watt. 15 sacks, 23 tackles for loss, 7 pass deflections, and an interception. The man was on a mission. Unfortunately, the Pittsburgh Steelers were not after like November. They just plummeted and lost in first round to the Browns. Yes. Number 8, I went with the NFL reception leader, Mr. Stephon Diggs. When you can demand your way out of Minnesota and you basically put yourself out there as I am the guy, and then to back it up, you are you're putting the league on notice.
Yeah.
You gave Josh Allen exactly what he needed, and you got there. You know him and Josh Allen synced up, and the rest is history. Um, he had 127 receptions, and he also led. I want to say he also led in yards too, with 1,535 yards. So I had to put him at number 8. Number 7, I went with Travis Kelsey, Mister Smooth himself. He and it sucks because, man, George Kittle, it literally can go back and forth. I feel it just depends on who stays healthy the longest. Obviously, it was Kelsey this year, but they're basically 1A, 1B. Just depends on the week who you prefer at that moment. I mean, he just led the way for all tight ends in general. Um, Number 6, this is where I went with just pure, respect, just like I went with Big Q at number 10 for best offensive lineman. It's only right that I put the best defensive lineman in Aaron Donald. I mean, ever since he came into the game, he's just been wrecking offensive linemen every year. And the big thing is that I'm so happy week 2, Colts and the Rams play. To see that Aaron Donald versus Quentin Nelson matchup is going to be something to watch. If you're not a fan of the trenches, if you are a fan of the trenches, you need to stay tuned for that battle because it's going to be a good one, man. It really is. Number 5, I went with the guy who I feel is the best receiver in the game right now, and that's Devontae Adams. 18 touchdowns. 18 touchdowns. That is just crazy. That's just the big knock on him was the simple fact of can you stay healthy? And this year he proved it. This year he proved that he could stay healthy. Now, obviously, we'll touch brief on the whole Karen Rodgers situation that's going on, but this man, to me, I feel is the best receiver. Again, it could go easily 1A, 1B with him and D Hop or even Julio, depending on who you like. With number 4, I went with Derrick Henry, Triple Crown leader, led the league in rushes, yards, and touchdowns. The guy is just unstoppable. It's just there's really no way to put it. The guy is just really unstoppable. At number three, I went with Patrick Mahomes. Um, Obviously, him and Brady could have altered depending on the outcome of the Super Bowl, but I went with Mahomes because of the simple fact they did lose, but I mean we've mentioned in the show, Jake's mentioned it in the show past. My guys out here in the plank form, throwing passes from
Exactly.
tying a shoe, throwing and they're connecting. Is just receivers are not catching them.
He
So
had them in
it's
the
not
face mask.
literally multiple times running out of bounds, sidearming it down the field, and it wasn't like it was 2 yards down or 10 yards. These were like deep bombs. So that's why I went with him. Um, I wouldn't be able to do this list without including the MVP. So I went with Karen Rodgers at number 2. Just a remarkable season, regular season in itself. Obviously, you got outdueled by my number 1 guy, Mr. Tom Brady, Mr. Pretty Boy
Mm,
Tom himself. Um, and the reason why I went with Tom as the number 1 guy to be doing what you are doing at your age, 42, 43, I believe, and to have taken so you leave New England and you go to play for the Bucks. We saw all the memes, all old men all go to Florida to retire. Does he still have it? And it was a little shaky. They lost both matchups against the Saints. They lost to the Chiefs, and it seemed like okay, well at least they'll make the playoffs. Doesn't really look like they'll go far. They literally had the hardest route to get to the Super Bowl at Washington. which many may think it's Washington, but Washington had a really
That
good.
was a good game.
They had a really good defense. Taylor Heineke, who I feel should get a chance to start. Obviously, they mentioned that it'll be a quarterback competition between him and Fitzpatrick. So then second round, you go to Drew Brees' house where you've lost both matchups during the regular season. You beat them. Then you go to the MVP's house. You beat them. Then it's not done. You got to play Mahomes. Granted, yeah, no tackles. The defense, you may have say, was their main reason why they won the game. But he still did what he was supposed to do. So that's why right now Tom Brady's at my number one spot because of his age to be doing this at this sport for this long. That's why he's at my number one. So you guys let me know. Obviously, Jake could give me a quick, brief answer on what he thinks about my top 10 list. But that's my top 10 list. You guys let me know down in the comments what you think.
So I noticed you kept the one guy out. It's the same guy that I kept out. I thought he was gonna be in your top 10,
Who?
but Lamar Jackson.
Well, see, with him, I didn't have it was for me with Lamar, it was he wasn't going to make it. I had more respect for Deshaun
Oh yeah, because he's
because
a quarterback.
yeah, but oh no, based off just based
You
off
said
what
yeah, so
Deshaun based off what Deshaun does. Deshaun is Jordan right now before the help.
Mhm.
He is keeping these guys in games, and it's not like in a lot of these games they played, they were just bad. They literally lost by a couple, lost by a few because the team just wasn't that good, but he just kept them afloat. So he was the one guy. Lamar was never really I mean, maybe next year we'll see. If this was his MVP year, obviously I'd have to put him in there because he won the MVP. But yeah, that's
Even
my number one.
then,
I'll put him in
I'm
just
not.
because
I'm not a huge Lamar guy. I think it's just.
I can
It's
respect
not
that.
like Vic. It's not like Vic. Vic
Yeah,
could actually throw the ball. Like
yeah.
Vic had a cannon. Even when he was playing with Philly, he was dropping dimes. Like it's not
Yeah.
like it's
I'll say
completely
this
different.
year we'll need to see Lamar the passer more. You have weapons, you have receivers. They're not, the Julio Jones, but you have Sammy. They drafted two of them, so they have shown you. We've given you the weapons. You still have Marquise Brown. You still have, the 2, 3 tight ends that you carry. This might be the best offense receiver wise, skill wise that they've ever had. So if he comes out and he's still not doing it, then yeah, this is all he'll be. But if he comes out and shows,
Yeah.
no, I just really needed the receivers, then he'll crack my top 10.
All right. So during the week, I kept telling Matt I'm struggling with my tenth guy. So my toss up was Fred Warner and Devontae Adams for number 10. The reason why I had Fred Warner is because he's 24 years old and he's already established as one of the best linebackers in the game at
Is he?
such a young age. Like he came on the
Mhm.
scene and he took over that position.
Yeah.
And your middle linebacker controls your defense.
Yep.
So he calls all the plays, he sees all the audibles the quarterback's doing. He's your eyes and ears. But Devontae Adams showed me something last year. He stayed healthy. He was healthier than usual. And this man just it doesn't matter what you do on defense, who you put on him, doesn't matter what.
Mm-mm.
He's the reason Rodgers won that MVP. I'm sorry. Rodgers is a great
I'm
quarterback,
there with you. 18
but
touchdowns, man. That's
yeah.
crazy.
So Devontae Adams takes 10 just because he had an incredible season. You have to reward that,
Yeah.
even though this reward isn't anything, but I have to give him the 10th spot. And then the ninth, yes, he was the MVP, but
Oh
I don't
no.
I don't think Rodgers does that if he doesn't have Adams.
Man, no, I give you that one. I mean, I can't again, I can't hate on the list. I mean, at least you got him in there. To me, it would have been disrespectful had we both not included the
Oh
MVP.
yeah, 100%. You have
So
to keep him in there because no matter what,
yeah,
he's still on the wrong side of 30. He's still winning an MVP,
yeah.
and he
So
still wins an NFC Championship game.
yeah,
But I have him at 9 because I honestly don't think if Devontae Adams isn't there, he
yeah,
doesn't have an MVP season. That doesn't
yeah,
mean he doesn't have a great season. He just doesn't have an MVP season.
Yeah, no, I
Because
agree with
who'd you
that.
had? Tanyan was your
Yeah, he
second
was
best
your best,
receiver.
and he had MVS. Lazard got
MVS
hurt, didn't come back till December, so
and MVS will have one good game and then drop every single pass the next
going
3
for it.
games.
Yeah, I give you that.
So, and then I have DeAndre Hopkins at 8. That there's nothing else to say. Hopkins is probably the best wide receiver. You
Yeah.
can give 1 and 1A if you want, but he's still one. And then Jalen Ramsey, I put at 6. He's still the best corner. He hasn't slowed down. He hasn't. If you look at his matchups with the best receivers he played last season, I think the best game, if I'm not mistaken, someone had like 37 yards.
Uh,
That's insane.
I think there's a receiver. There's been a whole bunch of things, with him and Metcalf and people calling Ramsey, that Metcalf is his son. Apparently, there's a receiver on the Bears that I guess it was the one game that Ramsey let up. I don't know necessarily the yardage. If you're a Bears fan watching this, you may be able to let me know. But apparently, he is the son of that Bears receiver. I got to look it up who it is. I'll probably look it up here in a
Is it
bit.
Mooney?
I think, yeah, Mooney. It sounds so. Mooney is the
Mooney.
only guy. So if you look at the list of who he's played, and for Mooney to be the guy,
But also, it could be that there's probably not a lot of tape on Mooney.
that is true. But don't you think he'd be guarding Allen Robinson? Unless
Are you
Robinson
scared?
did
Are you scared of Robinson? Like you
not
don't think your other
necessarily.
corner can take him?
I don't
I
think so.
think that's where it falls off.
Yeah,
Because like DK, I'm putting my best guy on DK because I can have my other corners or any other DB safety guard the other wide receiver. I forgot his name for
Lockett.
Seahawks. Lockett.
Yeah,
Because to be honest, Lockett, he's a slot guy. He'll get open every once in a while, but the main deep threat is DK.
I mean,
And
but I think Allen
DK,
Robinson is still a top 10 guy, top 10 receiver. I mean, I
he
get the
is.
fact that, I mean, to me, it should have been easy work for Ramsey because they used to be teammates on Jacksonville. So for Mooney to be the guy that's
I think it depends on the quarterback because Nick Folk was the quarterback, and
Foles, yeah,
Foles, I'm sorry, if he favored
Mooney,
Mooney,
yeah,
like you see who's getting the ball the most in the offense, like who's being targeted the most, and that's probably who Ramsey covers. You're
yeah,
going to cover who gets the most targets. Now, Allen probably capitalizes on his low targets, which is why it seems better.
yeah.
Because if he's only getting targeted 4 times, he's going to have those 4 receptions. He's most likely not going to drop a pass.
I got you.
So that could be it. But no matter what, it's like when I see Ramsey, I see Darrell Revis shut down. Like he's on to somebody, and he might get beat every once in a while, but it's not something that you have to worry about.
Yeah,
Like
no,
it's
I get
just
you that.
Ramsey is insane. And then so this guy at 6, the reason why he's still on my top 10 list, he was hurt last year quite a bit. But when this man's on the field, he is a difference maker. I got Christian McCaffrey at 6.
Oh, okay, I thought you were gonna go like Saquon or something. That's fine. I can give you McCaffrey. I can get you.
I put McCaffrey. I mean,
Yeah, I
that
give you that.
guy is he's not even that fast. He's just quick.
Yeah, he's super quick,
That's the thing,
super
right?
shifty.
And to be able to catch in the backfield and still take the ball for 20, 30 yards, that's insane. Because
Yeah,
you're going through different stages of the defense. You're going through the first line of defense, the second line of defense, which is the linebackers, and then you have to go through the secondary. So he's almost beating all those guys sometimes. So that's incredible.
yeah,
Then I have Pretty Boy Tom at 5. Had to put Tom Brady there. But when you hear the other guys, hopefully you respect that why I have him at 5. I put Stephon Diggs at 4, which yet last season, like you said, requesting to leave Minnesota, and then the Bills paid. They paid up for that for
yeah.
Diggs,
You go up
but he
first.
showed out. He
Yeah,
showed out. You can't. That loss in the AFC Championship wasn't on Stephon Diggs.
no,
And then I got Derrick Henry at 3, and then Aaron Donald, he's at 2. If I like when if I'm doing any type of I'm starting my team off with one guy, and if
yeah,
the number one guy on my list is taken, I'm probably going Aaron Donald. And the number one guy on my list is Patrick Mahomes. the reason why I can't
It's not
fault him
bad.
for that Super Bowl loss. I can't. It's not his fault.
Yeah, no, definitely
The
not his
only
fault.
way I would say it was his fault, and even if with the injuries, if he wasn't even the effort to like make the pass,
Yeah,
like if he was just throwing the ball away, or he was just, let me just live to see another down. No, there
yeah,
was no other down. It was this down or that's it. He knew it was win or go home because it's the Super Bowl.
yeah.
So the effort that he had throwing, literally about to hit the ground and just throwing 40 yards down the field
Hmm. Yeah, no,
is,
your top 10 list is pretty good. Again, it's I feel like yours is more respect based because of the who the player is, which is nothing. Again, there's nothing wrong with that.
Mhm.
Whereas mine, I kind of went off both. I went off of respect, but also stats. I
Oh
wanted to
yeah.
give love for, the stat leaders and the guys who did good. Um, Again, number three for me, Mahomes and Brady could have easily swapped because of the simple fact who won. But I knew Mahomes was going to be top three regardless. And the only reason, again, why I put Rodgers is because of the MVP. He had a better year. So, I mean, he had a better year,
And
but
it's funny
obviously
because
Mahomes made it
stats are
through.
tricky because you can
Yeah,
say this guy had a great season, but does he do it all the time?
exactly.
Or
Exactly.
you can say, oh, this guy had a down year, but it's because of injuries. Or that's
Yeah.
where Christian McCaffrey comes in.
Yeah.
And Julio. Julio's a great wide receiver. His talent hasn't gone out the window.
Yeah.
His
There's
route
so
running
many
is still
people.
crisp.
Yeah, so many
Yeah.
people that we're leaving off. Again, it's all opinion based. So you guys let us know down in the comments who your top 10 of the NFL is right now. Obviously, this part of our show will be dropping on IGTV. So, you guys will be able to also let us know there on social media um, who you feel the top 10 is. Again, it could be the top 10 from your favorite team. It's literally what you feel it is. Who are we to judge? This is not one of those. Obviously, if PJ was here, he would say, I'm going to convince you why my top 10 is right. This really isn't that big of a debate to where it's like,
We have
no,
Randy Moss for the first five.
how dare you have, blah 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 Ramsey here. So it's based just off of who you feel, who you like. And yeah, so you guys let us know.
Ramsey changed his jersey number. I can't find him.
But moving to off topic. So the big news in the NFL, and we mentioned this last show, that of course, the NFL for the most part would be off topic wise would be kind of small unless a trade happened. And that trade did happen. Julio Jones was traded to the Tennessee Titans. So just to give you the details as to what happened in that trade, the Tennessee Titans traded a 2022 second round pick, a 2023 fourth round pick, which it has conditional around the in parentheses. So that could probably mean that that fourth could maybe become a third, depending on how much he plays. That's
It's
obviously
probably
something.
an injury thing
Yeah.
if he plays a certain amount of games.
Yeah. And then the Atlanta Falcons traded Julio Jones in a 2023 six-round pick. So the big thing with the Titans that I read going into this is that they always wanted him, but they just didn't have the cap to do so. But trading these picks allowed them to free up the cap, obviously, because the trade went through. So
And
they,
Tannehill gave them 15 mil
yeah,
too. He
Tannehill
restructured
also
his.
restructured, which was big, big from him. Shows Tannehill that I made
He
my,
wants that ring.
yeah, at this point in my career, I'm just trying to win. I'm just trying to get that ring. So, Jake, you give me a perspective of your initial thought, and then I'm gonna give you guys a perspective from a division thought, being a Colts fan.
Okay, so my initial thought, kudos to the Titans. Like that was, I think, super cheap, to be honest. A second and a fourth, you still keep your first. Like that second round pick, yeah, second round pick is probably some crucial for a team like the Titans that's gonna make the playoffs. And will definitely go probably deep now with Julio. So that first is almost a second, and that second would be a third, and so on
Yeah.
and so forth. So I think it was pretty cheap. So my question is, was that the only offer he was willing to accept, or was that one that they asked Julio, out of all the teams we have, where do you want to go? Like a respect thing. But I feel like other teams would have offered
Yeah.
something a little bit better.
I mean, it wasn't like he had a short list of teams. From what I saw, my guy had 18, 19 teams on there. He just
Hmm.
wanted to go to a team that was one, a contender, or that could,
Competitive at
yeah,
least.
be competitive and who could throw the deep ball. So that's really a lot of teams when you think about it. It was just,
And cap wise, because he doesn't
yeah,
want to lose money.
in the cap. So it was just basically who was going to pull the trigger. I think because of how the reason why it was so cheap is because of the age.
True.
32, I mean, he's still playing great. And you got to think that at some point or going into the season, because AJ Brown is probably the best number two, or depending on who they feel is number one, regardless, he's the best other receiver. No shots to Calvin Ridley at all. But he's the best other guy he's played with that it'll keep him
Well,
free.
Ridley was hurt as much as Julio.
Yeah,
That's the
it
problem.
was it was a they both were kind of up and down through that year. But yeah, as far as a division standpoint, going to before this trade, to me, I felt Colts had the best chance to win the division because of the simple fact it was just AJ Brown and Derrick Henry, which I mean, I say that like it's
Yeah.
not that big of a
I
deal, but
wish I had that on my team.
yeah, but it's still that big of a deal. I mean, we can guarantee as a Colts fan, Derrick Henry will gash us for 100-something yards at home. But
Mhm.
it to me, it was like, okay, we can still win it. But then AJ Julio gets traded. I'm going to say this. It's going to come down still to them two teams. I'm going to choose the team that has the best overall team. And to me, Indy does because of the simple fact, yes, the Titans have the best offense. I'm not even going to debate that part.
Yeah.
But you have rookies playing corner.
Yeah, they lost. They lost a bit on defense.
I don't know if Desmond King is still there. If he
He
is,
was on a 1 year deal. I don't know if they re-signed him. Let me
yeah,
see.
we'd have to. Hopefully, we can look that up to see if he's still there. But he plays the nickel. I'm not. He's still good. Kevin Byard, obviously the free safety. But other than that, you drafted two guys, and I mean, it might look like the Minnesota Vikings, with the rookies they had last year. So that's the reason why I choose the Colts to win the division over the Titans. It will be difficult because you have to, like Julio said, you have to pick your poison. There is no, we're going to stop Julio and AJ Brown. Derrick Henry is going to gas you. There is no, we got to stop Derrick Henry. Those two are going to get wild. It's almost like you just have to accept that the Titans offense will get what they're going to get, but know that at least you'll be able to get it right back because of the young guys in the secondary. So,
So Desmond King signed with the Texans,
oh, so he's not even okay.
and it was a 1 year deal.
So it's even bigger question marks now.
Yeah, because they lost to Dory Jackson too.
Yeah, they
He's with
lost
the
a lot of
Giants.
guys.
They
Granted,
lost Logan Ryan the year before,
yeah,
and
I
then
think
they
they signed
lost to
that kid
Dory
Morris
Jackson.
Jenkins, which I mean, he's
They
okay.
still have Byard.
Yeah, they still have Byard, which is a good piece, but
I
other than
mean,
that,
Caleb
it's
Fairley. He's not a. He should be good. I don't think he's gonna have that many struggles.
he should. It's just he didn't play last year. He didn't play, and he had a lot of medical question marks as to why he fell to where he.
But a lot of players didn't play last season. I don't know if that's something we can really knock against them.
No, that isn't, but it's the medical part
Oh,
that it was the reason why. Like it didn't matter if he didn't. I mean, Trey Lance didn't play. He got drafted number 3 overall. So
Jamar Chase didn't play, and his expectations are through the roof.
yeah, so that's where I stand. We'll
But I
see
get
what
it. Defense
happens.
wise,
Yeah, defensive
eh.
wise, if it was the defense of like a couple years ago when they beat the
Oh, with this
Ravens
team,
with this team, oh, hands down, it's going to be the Titans that'll win the division. If you're a Colts fan like I am, you just be happy to make wild
yeah.
card. But because to me, you have the overall better team, I will take those chances of winning the division.
So
Um,
being the not the Texans, excuse me, the Titans. if you knew this was something you wanted to do down the line, because all these teams knew Julio was going to be traded, he was going to be on the market. So
Yeah.
if he was on your like top board, why wouldn't you make a push for JJ Watt?
Who, the Titans?
Yeah,
I don't think they could afford him. And because they may have wanted to get younger, there and I don't think they really need Watt. I mean, they have Simmons, Jeffrey Simmons, who plays the same position. He's younger. He costs less.
but if your secondary is going to lack a little bit, you want a little bit more pass rush to cover
Yeah,
for that.
but they see that I feel they have it because they have Carl Landry. They signed Bud Dupree also.
Oh,
So
but is he going to start from the beginning because of the
that I'm
ACL
not
tear?
sure. Yeah, the ACL thing, I don't know necessarily when he'll come back. I know he got hurt at the end of the season, so we'll see. If anything, worst case scenario, he misses like the first
4
couple
games.
weeks, first
Yeah.
month, if you will. So it shouldn't be that bad. I just want to see Bud Dupree without TJ Watt. Just if
True.
I mean, TJ Watt earned Defensive Player of the Year for a reason. It wasn't because Bud Dupree was on the other side. He's just that good. So we'll see.
But if you're being double teamed on one side, it makes the other side
A
vulnerable
lot
easier.
easier, yeah. And I mean,
Which, hey,
Bud
don't knock
Dupree,
him. He got the bag. I
yeah, Bud
mean, you
Dupree's
can't.
been there for a while. So for you to all of a sudden kind of had that good year, I'm not technically sure. So we'll see. I
I
mean,
get that.
definitely the Titans have the best offense in that division, hands down. So you guys let us know what you think. What are your initial thoughts on Julio rocking the number 2 with the Tennessee Titans? Other off-topic news, Karen Rodgers did not report to minicamp. And the world is falling now because of it. No, we don't really care. We don't. I
I
mean,
mean, Jordan Love couldn't get past midfield, and then the next
yeah,
day,
then the next day
he's Aaron Rodgers.
it's I don't take any stock into what's happening right now. It's literally mini camp. They're playing in jerseys, shorts, and helmet. And the thing is, all practices are scripted. So yeah, the first day where it was like, oh, he was trash.
It could have been Rust too, like just rusty.
Rust, the fact that my guy's never taken the first quarterback, snaps. Anxious.
Yeah,
You're supposed to. I mean, you got drafted to someday be the guy. You didn't think it would be this
this soon.
soon,
Yeah.
and now all of a sudden you have to kind of prove it just in case he doesn't come back. So
And you have no chemistry
yeah,
with the guys
exactly.
either.
You have no chemistry at all. I mean, even when he was there, they had another backup who dressed and Jordan Love didn't, which I don't really care for that. I mean, if you're not going to play, it's pointless to dress a guy.
Yeah,
So if you were the third guy on the depth chart, you're maybe getting reps with practice squad, which
because
those
I don't even
guys,
think Devontae was, because that was OTAs. He
yeah,
wasn't even there,
mm,
so it wasn't even the starters either.
yeah. So he had a couple of starters, mainly in the running back, Aaron Jones and crew, but we'll see. We'll see more so what happens when training camp
Preseason.
starts
Oh
in
yeah, training camp.
preseason. Preseason is going to be real big because we get to see him
Well,
play.
these are mandatory right now.
Yeah, these are mandatory. So yes, it is a cause for concern, but this is just I feel more so Rogers just sticking it to them.
I think
Like,
it's a legit holdout, though. I don't think I.
I can see it.
Why though? Like, why? What does he have to prove?
Yeah,
Realistically, what does he have to prove? He has a ring. Most guys don't have a ring.
yeah,
He has one. What does he have to prove? I won a ring. I won MVP. What
yeah,
do I have to do? It's not like he's broke.
yeah,
He's not itching for money.
yeah. It's just more so the front office just having to work on their end to repair that relationship that's been broken. So you guys let us know on the Karen saga. What are your thoughts on that? Are we watching a soap opera? Is this Days of Our Lives or some sort of novella, or is it just hey, it'll
You gotta have
pop
that
up,
Spanish gasp.
or is this just it'll come to whenever? But you guys let us know. At this time, we will be taking a good halftime to hear a word from our sponsor. This episode is brought to you by Ant Optics. In a culture filled with camera phones and thousands of clicks and posts a day, it's easy to forget the importance of specialty photography. We must remember that everyone can take a photo, but for those moments you just can't put into words, Ant Optics is here to help capture it through a lens instead. Also serving brand creators and business owners. Visit ant.optics on IG for more information. And we are back. We thank our folks over there at Ant Optics for being our sponsor for this week. If you're looking to capture your special day, anniversary, whatever it is, family portraits, that you want to take for the family, you guys make sure to go ahead and hit him up in his Instagram page. We'll leave the link down below in the description. The guy works wonders, man, with that camera. He really does. So make sure
You
you
get some
definitely.
tips from him.
Yeah, now he's definitely a beast when it comes to the camera. There's really nothing that.
Get some pics of Charlie going.
Yeah, you guys make sure to go hit him up and have him take all your picture needs. But we're continuing on with our theme, top 10 players in sports. We covered the NFL. Now we're moving on to the NBA. Again, these are all based off your own opinion, who you feel who it is. So I started last time. This time I'm gonna sit back. Jake's got this big grin on his face because he's ready to get spicy, man. And I'm gonna let him
Yes.
start with his top 10 list.
So I did want to get a little spicy with this list because the way Matt does it, he shows respect. Meaning, if you win an MVP or if you were the last MVP runner-up, you're probably on the list. But for my list,
Oh no,
I
did you
don't
do that?
have last year's MVP.
That's fine. Oh no. I
So
just
for my
realized who it
number
was.
10, which if you guys don't know, last year's MVP was Giannis, which is the Greek freak. He is not on my top 10 list.
Man.
So my number 10 guy is going to be, and I'm be completely honest, man crush on this guy lately. All right.
Oh
Donovan Mitchell
yeah,
is number
I saw
10.
that coming.
Donovan Mitchell is number 10. I was gonna say AD, but the injuries in the playoffs is really messing me up for that. And
Yeah,
he's been hurt a lot the last couple seasons. So I'm gonna give it to Donovan Mitchell at number 10. I have a lot of young guys on this list, but they're gonna be owning the NBA if they
yeah,
don't already. I got Jason Tatum at 9. That should be just saying his name. You should be like, yep, that makes sense.
yeah.
Um, I have so this guy could have been a little higher, but when you hear all the other names, you'll probably like, okay, that's a good spot. I got Luca coming up next, which that guy, 22 years old, doing what he's doing.
It's crazy.
Surround him with a better team.
Yeah.
Give him some more role players.
And they
I
get
don't
past the
see.
first. Yeah.
I don't see that this guy doesn't win. Probably 4 rings, maybe a little bit more than that. He's just that good. Then I got Lillard, Dame time. He's There's nothing much to say about him. He shows up. And then had you we done this list in the beginning of the season, he's probably not on there. But this man put up 2K numbers in the month of April and then finished second in MVP voting. So I got Steph Curry.
Steph Curry.
I got him in the list. He To start
So
the season off, the
what number are
Warriors
you
weren't.
behind?
I am on. I did 10, 9, 8, 6. I'm
Six.
on
Okay.
6. I got Curry at 6.
That's not bad.
And then 5, I put Joel Embiid. He had a really good season this year, but he'd be higher, but like injuries. You have to put
Yeah.
that in account.
Yeah.
And then 4, I put this year's MVP, Jokic. And then number 3, James Harden. This man is he's hurt right now, but
Mm,
this dude's amazing. Even with KD and Kyrie, you think, oh, his numbers would go down. No, it's just like he was still in Houston. Dropping 28, 32 points a game. He's still getting the rebounds and the assists.
yeah.
He's more of a point guard than Kyrie.
Yeah. Yeah. They've pretty much switched roles. Kyrie's more of the two guard, which that's fine. I mean, everyone knows Kyrie's a score first point, and
Yeah.
so I'm cool
He's
with that.
just a short shooting guard, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Basically AI.
Yeah. And then I got KD at number 2. And then I got your boy, LeBron James at 1.
LeBron James.
LeBron James. I need that little meme going on.
LeBron James.
um, there's nothing I shouldn't say about like why wouldn't LeBron be your number one?
Yeah,
You
especially at this
can't,
age.
yeah, you can't blame for what happened with the Lakers
Yeah,
this year. It's not his fault. People can say what they want, PJ,
PJ.
but it's believe me, my guy, an ankle injury is very
29
serious
nights.
for football
Yeah.
players. I
So
mean,
for
for
basketball,
basketball
yeah,
players, it is. If your ankles aren't healthy, you're not right.
yeah,
Had the season been 10 games longer than like it usually is, he might be
he,
a little bit better. But he was forced to come back because the playoffs were starting.
yeah, and because they were playing in the play-in.
Exactly. If that wasn't in, and let's say they didn't have to do the play in,
Yeah,
he's
he
obviously not
definitely.
playing
Yeah,
those last few games.
yep, I agree.
So I that's why I still think LeBron's number one. It's his to lose, and I think he'll proudly give it to Luca.
At some point,
He
yeah,
loves Luca, but I don't. LeBron's number one.
yeah,
He's doing ridiculous stuff at his age.
yeah. So my initial thoughts on your list, honestly, I don't. There's nothing really I disagree with it. I mean, even leaving Giannis off of it,
So
AD.
there's a reason for that
Mm,
I left him off. Look what he's doing in the playoffs right now. Okay, granted they won last night,
yeah,
but that was not because he had 32 and Middleton had 35. But the Nets weren't their shooting percentage was horrible. Joe
yeah, it was
Harris had
bad.
the worst shooting game of his career. That's not something that's going to happen again.
Yeah,
They were just off, and then the Bucks still barely won. And Giannis is 3 for 32, I think, on the 3 point. Why is he shooting threes?
yeah. Meanwhile, getting free throw.
You saw that?
Yeah, like how is your
Your free
free
throw
throw?
won't count because it's too long.
Why is it that long,
Your
bro?
ritual.
Yeah. There's really
That's
nothing wrong with that list that I have. Yeah, everything honestly leading up, I have nothing wrong with that. My list, so my number 10 spot was between three guys. It was between AD, Booker, and Mitchell. I went with Anthony Davis because of the simple fact his presence, not that Mitchell Booker's presence is not anywhere the same. If anything, it may be somewhat more important. The reason he's at number 10 is because of what you mentioned is the injuries, but you can see that in their only two wins against the Suns. I mean, my guy dropped 30, both of them.
mm,
So one, it can say that had he not got hurt with the groin, because it was more so the groin that really put him out than anything. I mean, the Lakers might still be playing at this moment. We're not technically, sure about that, but I went there just because of respect factor. I do agree. I don't understand how you are on a team with LeBron James, who spends X amount of money every year on his body,
100%.
and you don't want to take the same route. You're not, hey, look, LeBron, each year, at the end of this, whatever you're doing, bro, I'm literally gonna be living with you. Like,
Exactly.
why
Yeah,
aren't you
exactly.
doing?
Can I move in?
Yeah, like the amount of falls my guy takes for a big man is just unnecessary. It's so unnecessary. And he's got to figure it out this year, man, because he had one good healthy season last year when they won the championship. And obviously the bubble, he had little dinks and bruises, but he was able nothing
But
serious.
look at the difference.
Yeah, it's a major difference this year. It's like he had the little ankle in the knee, but he still played. It was mainly really the groin, but I just don't understand how are you getting and who was it that said it? I think it might have been Chuck or Robert Horry who said, whoever your trainer is, if you've had them from the moment you stepped in the league, you need to fire them. And it's true.
Yeah.
It's
LeBron's had the same guy though.
and that's what I'm saying. Like, how are you with LeBron James? How is anybody who that is a teammate of his that doesn't say, hey man, you know what? Whatever you do, I'm gonna do the exact same thing. How much it costs, it don't even matter. I want to be, I guess you have to be driven. But for a guy like Anthony Davis who says that his legacy is important, why aren't you doing that? I just don't
Exactly.
understand that part. So
Because
he's
it's
at
like
number
you said,
10.
when healthy, they won those 2 games.
Yeah, with when healthy, Anthony Davis is probably the best big man
Oh,
playing right now.
easily. because
like
his
that's
defense is top notch too.
yeah, and the fact that he can shoot the ball mid range, 3 point, like that's just how good he is. So that's the reason why he's at number 10. In all honesty, I could have put Mitchell or Booker. Honestly, one of those two guys obviously may deserve it more than AD, but I'm gonna just go for respect, and put him there at number 10. Number 9, I put James Harden, and I put him there just because of the simple fact of, I guess, being hurt during the regular season when he came. Before then, he was good, but I didn't want to exclude him from the list, so I put him at number 9. Number 8, I put Joel Embiid. This is a guy who could have gone further down the list as far as like closer to number 1 had he stayed healthy, because I feel if he stays healthy, it's his MVP um, to lose. So I went with him at number 8. Number 7, I went Dame. Damian Lillard, if you're listening to this, because we know you are, Dame time. Get out of Portland,
From the
bro.
New York.
I don't care where you go. Just get out of there. It's time. I don't know what else you gotta do, because obviously dropping
This man
55.
dropped 55.
Yeah, dropping 55 is not enough. So just get out, man. Get out. Number 6, I put your boy who you left off. I put Giannis, and this is another respect thing. I put him because of the simple fact, and when we get to our 3-word thing, you'll see where I stand with them in the playoffs so far. I went with them because of the simple fact it was a clean sweep of the Heat, a team that they struggled against in the bubble. So I said, I was drinking the Kool-Aid. I said, okay, maybe they figured it out. Obviously, they're, down the game. But so I put them there. Number 5, I went with the MVP. I went with Jokic. Again, respect matter. Last night, my guy dropped 32, 20, and 10.
Jeez,
As a
that's
big man,
crazy.
this is a point center out here, ladies and gentlemen. A point
10
center.
assists.
10 assists, 20 boards. I think it was half and half 10, half offensive, half defensive, and
That's
32.
crazy.
Like,
10
what?
offensive boards.
Like, that's just, I mean, even DeAndre Ayton was shocked. Like, and he's playing against the guy. He's like, bro, this guy really dropped that. But I went with him. So at number 4, I have who I feel will be the soon face of the league, and I went Luka. Luka needs so much help, man. If he does not get help, we will see the decision part 2. To
And
me,
it's
yeah,
his extension is this summer.
it's yeah. So we'll see if he signs it. Obviously, it shows where he's. I mean, he's young enough to where he can sign a big extension, and when it's done, he'll still be in his prime. So we'll see if he doesn't sign it. He may want to see what they do first. Obviously, the unicorn, or who used to be the unicorn, Porzingis,
He's trash.
has not been what we thought he was when he was with the Knicks, which is a big shocker. I was a big Porzingis fan of his when he was
Same.
drafted there. So I got Luka there. Number 3, my 3 through 1 are all older guys, and to me, these guys are still showing you, yes, you have so many young guys stepping up, but these 3 guys show you that no matter how old they get, and we'll see as LeBron gets older, they're still those guys. They are still going to get theirs. They still have that big of effect. Number 3, I went with Steph, the best 3-point shooter in history.
Ever.
There's just no debating that. Um, Number 2, I went Durant. When you're a 7-footer that can just do things that a 7-footer shouldn't do, obviously you're going to be there. And number 1, I went with LeBron. In all honesty, I could see Durant next year jump LeBron for this. It honestly really depends what LeBron looks like when he comes back. Some people view this as, oh, Father Time is undefeated. Well, it's an injury, bro. You can't. I could
Do
see
you
if
know the
LeBron.
amount of miles that are on LeBron's body?
Yeah, my guy's going to what, year 18.
But in reality, it's like 23 seasons.
Yeah, it's
You have to
it's
put all the
crazy.
final runs, all the Olympics.
Yeah,
That adds like 2 to 3 seasons to your body.
yeah. So to me, I don't think Father Time is where you're not playing yourself, and it's not because of injury. You're
Vince
just
Carter,
old. Yeah, Vince Carter, maybe D Wade, if you will. D Wade was still playing, and he wasn't hurt. He couldn't do.
Jason Kidd is a good one.
Yeah, Jason Kidd also. Maybe you can kind of say I'll give Kobe half. Kobe, I mean, because the way he went out against the Jazz, he still showed you, hey, I may not be able to do this on a constant basis, but at least I can still
Oh,
drop.
yeah.
So, but I can't say LeBron is on father time. It's an injury, and if it is, to drop 29, 9 and 7, are we?
And you're hurt.
And you're hurt, and your second guy is hurt. Come on, man. Are we for real right now? There's no way that's father time. So we'll see next year. It'd be 36, 37, whatever the case is. We'll see what happens. Um, but yeah, that's my top 10 list. Like I said, number 10 is probably my only spot that if I had to go now and redo it, just based off what has happened last night with the Suns going up 3-0 and what Mitchell has done, one of those two take it. One of those two
Oh
definitely
yeah,
take number 10.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. But that's
And
my
I
list.
think with next year, those two go up big time.
Oh yeah, big time. Somebody will leave this list. I'm not sure who. It could be Embiid. It could be Giannis. I mean, LeBron could move down. We'll see. But that's my list. You guys let us know. Do you agree? Are there anything, obviously we're missing people. Do you have Giannis in your list like I do, or do you have him out like Jake does? So you guys let us know. Um, you got any initial thoughts on my list before we move on?
I think it was good. It wasn't too well what I thought it was gonna be. I think you had a lot of good points.
Yeah.
And I get the Harden thing, like the Harden at 8. I
Yeah.
couldn't or 9-8 where we had him. I don't think it was that far off. I had him a little bit higher just because we know what he can do.
Yeah.
Like that man's healthy. He's a top 5 player.
Yeah. If
But
he's healthy, he probably takes Luca's spot at 4 or maybe Steph's spot, depending on how well he's playing.
and like the injuries, AD was out of my list because of it. So I
Yeah.
can see how. But yeah, that makes sense. And then Steph. Steph is just Steph.
Yeah.
That's
There's
crazy.
just he's just on a different planet, man. So that's what we have for our top 10 list of the NBA. Again, you guys let us know down in the comments. This section will also be on IGTV. So you guys will also be able to let us know there and on social media. But again, moving on to our off topic, we have so much to cover as far as the NBA wise. Obviously, we missed a week. So a lot happened in that week. Um, round one recap, we are going to give our thoughts of everything that transpired. If you listen to episode 8, our 3-word game, we can just start simply from the Lakers Suns. Went from Lakers in 5. Jake was there with me, and
Yeah.
obviously we know where the Lakers are right now. We went from Clippers blowing it up. The Clippers are here still. So and that's why we love NBA basketball, because no matter what we say on Friday, this date can literally change in a matter of moments, in 2 days. Like the face of round one had literally changed by the time we dropped episode 8. AD
Yeah.
got hurt. The Clippers came back, and I think the series was somewhat tied up at that point. So anything can happen. Jake, you start us off with your round one recap of everything that happened.
Yeah, I mean, it got kind of crazy. Lakers just ended up having really bad games those last two. It wasn't even that they lost. They were blowouts. Like it was bad. And then I you guys saw my little emotional rant with the Knicks. So we all know how that finished off. We're like, oh yeah, Julius
That's
Randle
trash.
can't do worse than 2-15. He's
Uh,
definitely good. All right, so that happened. um, so I mean, besides that, there was a few things that I still think the Clippers need to blow it up. I don't think just because you
yeah,
shouldn't have gone 7 games with
with the
the
Mavs.
Mavs.
Yeah,
It's just Luca.
especially if you clearly have the better team.
Literally, all it is Luca.
Yeah.
Because the role guys, yeah, they're good, but without Luca, that team's nowhere near the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I still think you blow it out. I mean, I think Utah's gonna sweep the Clippers, and the Clippers are healthy, so there's no
Yeah, I mean
reasons for it.
we had a lot of good spots. Obviously, the Bucks sweeping the Heat, Nets beating the Celtics.
Which I mean, the Celtics won a game. We thought it was gonna be a sweep.
Yeah, we thought it was gonna be sweet, but we overall had them winning the series. The Jazz beating the Grizzlies. So where we were wrong, we had some good spots. Obviously, again, an AD groin injury changed that entire series. From the games were close, but the Lakers were obviously asserting their dominance in the paint. To they're getting blown out. Game 5, LeBron's leaving 5 minutes left in the quarter. Fourth, they getting blown out. Game 6, and Jay Crowder's out there salsa dancing. But that's
I
the
love
playoffs.
that man.
No, I'm not gonna. I laughed at that. That and then I don't know if you saw Paul George was imitating Drummond when he was like when LeBron was posting up
Oh yeah.
Crowder, and Drummond was on the side, imitating him. So we all know CP3 is a menace when it comes to this. He's King Petty. He's going to
Yep.
do this stuff. That's just, but I love it though.
Remember that GIF where he did the fake laugh to
Yeah,
one of
he
the
did
coaches?
to the Warriors coach, Steve Kerr.
Yes.
He's like, yeah, whatever. So, my initial round 1 recap. The only thing I will say I was shocked with was I would definitely say the Lakers Suns series, and not just because of who won it, just because of how fast and how it shifted that series when AD got hurt.
Yeah.
And how great the Phoenix Suns said, cool. So your one like true healthy superstar is out. Yeah, LeBron's going to be able to do his thing, but he's not really going to kill us like he used to, 3-4 years ago. We're going to take advantage of this. And obviously we saw them do so. Blew them out in game 5, wasn't even close. And the same in game 6. Booker dropped 47 game 6.
Yeah.
So
Which that's how you got to close out when you have
yeah,
when
you
you
gotta
have
go.
the game to close it out. You
Yeah.
have to.
And I share with you guys. Jake already knows. I share with you guys how I feel about the Suns. Wink, wink. So
Yeah, this
yeah.
man's a Suns fan now. Hey,
Yeah. I'm going back
I
to my
don't
roots, man. I'm going back to the
I
roots.
don't care. I'm not that. And the reason why I say I don't care, Matt knows. We have this group chat with a few other people, and some people make this their daily
Yeah, man.
conversation topic.
It's like, why
I
can't I
just I
just
I just don't care.
Yeah, we'll get to it. I don't want to get too much into it right now. Once we get to, the 3 word, I'll, shed a little light, and it's actually what I'm hyped about. Like we'll get there. We'll get there. Don't worry about it. So that's what we have as far as round 1 recap. I'm there with Jake. I mean, the Clippers should still blow it up. I don't care, bro.
Yeah.
But now we will head into our 3 words, and we'll after the end of our 3 words, we'll both give our prediction, and then we'll save our thoughts for this round for afterwards. So you'll just strictly hear our 3 words and a prediction for the series, playoff series that are going on now. So to start off with the Nets versus Bucks, I'll start off. My 3 words: I was fooled. Milwaukee, you had me drinking the Kool-Aid, but I should have known that because it was Miami, and they were great, good in the bubble, that it wouldn't translate for them in the playoffs with actual fans and whatnot. Yeah, I was fooled. Now all of that could be changed again, because as we record this, they play tonight. So if the Bucks can somehow win another game, tied up 2-2, then obviously we'll see where we stand. But for right now, I was fooled. As for my prediction, I'm going to say Nets in 6, only because I'm going to give respect to the Bucks that they win another game. I don't think it's tonight. I think it's when they return back to Milwaukee. So yeah.
So they play tomorrow night.
Oh, okay. So they play tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tonight is Jazz Clippers.
Okay. So yeah, I'll that's my prediction. Nets in 6. What are your 3 words and predictions for that series?
So my 3 words is Giannis is overrated, and
Oh no. Makes
the
sense.
Nets in 5.
I can
I
see that.
mean, I love Giannis, but and we had this conversation this week, you and me,
Yeah.
that when you don't have that many tools in your toolbox, it's very easy to find a way to beat you.
Yeah.
And Giannis just doesn't have the tools.
Yeah.
He's great at jumping.
Yeah.
I mean, hey,
Yeah.
and your athletic ability MVP and has put money in your pocket for that generational wealth,
Yeah.
which is great, but it's not going to win you a ring.
Yeah.
I'm,
I
he
was
can
talking
still
to
be a
somebody.
one. He
Yeah,
can still be a one on a team, but
he just
he's
needs
one of
to
those
add,
guys.
yeah, add more to just get a mid range.
Even that, yeah,
Just you don't have to shoot the three. I mean, yeah, if you can shoot the to me, I look at it, I don't see why you can't be like Anthony Davis, but better because of the simple fact
exactly.
you don't get hurt.
Hmm.
I don't see why you can't be that. You gotta shoot, man. You gotta shoot the mid range consistently. If you're gonna pop a three here and there and make them, that's cool. You don't have to be 45% from the three.
I mean, D Wade wasn't a 3-point shooter.
But he
That
was a
wasn't his
great
thing.
driver and he was good at mid
Exactly.
range. So be that. Why can't you be that? I get what you're saying there. In all honesty, I say Nets in 6 just out of
But
respect.
also,
But I wouldn't be shocked if it's Nets in 5.
now everyone like we have a few people like, oh, you're a Nets fan, you're a Nets. I'm not a Nets fan. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
you put a healthy KD, which KD's been healthy, Kyrie, and Harden's not even playing.
Yeah. He hasn't
But
put he
those
played
two
like 2
guys,
minutes in game 1.
those two guys completely healthy can take anybody in the NBA.
Yeah.
And they're wiping the floor with you.
Yeah. Easily.
And Harden's not even there. Imagine a healthy Harden with
Yeah.
a healthy KD and a healthy Kyrie, and they play well together. You don't have that. Oh, I need to be the man. I need to be the man. That may happen next year if they win.
Yeah.
But for right now, that's not an issue, and that's dangerous.
Yeah. I agree with you on that.
Because those three, they can drop 140
Oh,
all
easily.
together,
Yeah.
and that's light work.
Yeah.
So
Moving on to the West, we have the Jazz versus the Clippers. Jake, hit me with your 3 words and a prediction.
hmm, blow it up. I'm gonna keep it the same. I'm gonna keep it the same.
I don't blame you.
Um, uh, the Clippers shouldn't be here, but they are.
Yeah.
So the Jazz are going to go to the Western Conference Finals because it's going to be a sweep.
Yeah.
And the reason why the Clippers shouldn't be there, I think give Luca just a guy that can make 10 to 12 consistent points a game.
Yeah.
And they probably win that series in 5. To be honest, they probably beat the Clippers. I say blow it up because you have a healthy Kawhi, you have a healthy Paul George, and you have a healthy Rondo.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Yeah.
What's going on? So I say blow it up. They shouldn't be there, but hey, kudos to the Jazz. They're cruising. They can start getting healthy because I wouldn't even play my starters in the 4th at this point. Just
Yeah. I
because.
mean, if it's a blowout, I mean, game 2, they won, but it was a roller coaster. They were up big. Clippers came back. Clippers
And
took
Conley's
the
not
lead.
playing either. I wouldn't even play him
Yeah.
in the series.
That I agree with. Conley doesn't need to play because there's Rondo, Beverly. They're not scaring you. There's no need for him to come back. We spoke off air. You'll need him for CP3. You'll need him
Oh,
for that. So
100%.
definitely just, Mike Conley, you're listening. We know you are. Don't play, bro. Just chill. Tell your trainer, tell the coaching staff you good.
Get LeBron's
Um,
trainer real quick.
yeah, just for like a week. My 3 words for the series, not this time. There is no coming
I
back.
like that.
There is no coming back. The only reason you came back is because what we've been saying. It's literally Luca versus you, and it took you 7 games to do that. This
That's
Jazz
crazy.
team not only has a superstar, but has the defensive player of the year, has a team
3-time.
around him who can shoot the 3 and can play defense. Bogdanovich is out here putting the handcuffs on Kawhi. There's no way you come back. I'm gonna play the respectable route. I'm gonna give you 1 game, but I definitely could see a sweep. But I will say Jazz in 5. Moving on to the Sixers versus the Hawks. My 3 words, they're too little. The Atlanta Hawks matched up great with the Knicks
Knicks.
because the size wasn't really overbearing. Clint Capella was probably the biggest person, big man wise there. But Clint Capella compared to Joel Embiid, I think Clint Capella and Ben Simmons are the same height and they play two different positions. You're just too little. You stole game one, which shocked everybody because Icy Trey is still in the building. But after last night, you're just too little. Um, and I'm gonna say Sixers and 6.
So my 3 words is try again next year. I know that's one other word, but
Yeah,
try again next year as far as the Hawks. I like you said, too small. And even with the Knicks, they matched up well because Mitchell Robinson wasn't
wasn't
starting.
exactly. So just based off
I
what they
think
had was your advantage.
because you have Taj Gibson coming off the bench to be your backup center.
Yeah,
He's small. And Atlanta's really young, super young.
yeah.
Like
So
I
this is good
think,
for them at least.
yeah, I think it's gonna losing now is gonna be really beneficial to them. They're not
Yeah,
gonna. It's not like it's gonna be a one and done.
yeah,
They're gonna be in the playoffs more. But I say Philly in 5. I think that's the one game that Atlanta got.
yeah.
They're not gonna get any more. But I'll leave this, but I have a prediction for Atlanta and Nets. I mean Philly and Nets. So I don't think that's gonna be a fun series, but we'll see.
And then our last series, Jake, tell us your 3 words and a prediction for Suns versus the Nuggets.
Mini Kobe arrived. That's Mini Kobe arrived. My man showed up. It's Mamba mentality every game. Booker's probably becoming my favorite player just because as we see his game improve, you just see Kobe.
Hands
Like the
down.
type of shots that he's making, he's attempting.
It's the
It's
fadeaways for me.
Kobe.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's the fadeaways where I'm like, bro,
And the pump fakes.
I've seen this before. You can't tell me I
I'm
haven't
just,
seen this.
I'm like, wait, Kobe's not a Suns. Like what?
Yeah,
It's
I get,
it's and obviously you can't take away from CP3
yeah,
because CP3 has done a lot for this team.
yeah. But CP doesn't have to drop 30, doesn't have to drop 25.
Exactly.
His,
He's literally a
yeah,
facilitator,
yeah. As long as he's giving you some good assist numbers
which
and dropping like, yeah, 15, 18, that's all you really need from him.
he had 23 assists and I think 3 turnovers for the series,
Yeah,
or a
not
little bit
last
more than
night,
that.
game two, he had 15 assists, no turnovers. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
And what is your prediction? I think we're in the same boat
Uh,
here.
I'm gonna go Denver 7.
PJ.
Phoenix and 4. It's a sweep.
Yeah, yeah,
They're gonna sweep tomorrow. It's a closeout game. You have Booker's gonna. He has that Kobe mentality. He does.
yeah,
He's gonna come in assassin minded, and he's gonna drop probably 40, 45, 50
yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah. My 3 words for the Suns Nuggets, didn't see this. I thought it was going to be a competitive series.
Mhm.
My initial thought going to the series was Suns in 6. Obviously, I'm with you. I got a Suns sweep. I just the team, man. Yeah, Booker is Booker. I mean, Kobe, a walking bucket, whatever you want to call this guy, he is that. He's literally that. But the team around him is also stepping up. They play great defense together, man. They play great defense together. They shoot the ball great together. But also the bench guys come in. Cameron Payne, you know, is a speedy guy. Not like CP3. CP3, he's gonna, walk his way around the court. He's gonna push the tempo here and there. But Cameron Payne is just like the flash, just constant go, go, go. So yeah, that's where I got with that. And then I guess now we'll head into our just thoughts on the playoffs now. So of round two. So this is where I'm going to take my time, Jake. Just give me a brief
Hey,
moment.
do
All
you,
right,
Papa? Do you?
give me just give me a brief moment. So for you that are watching, granted, a lot of you know me. All right, I'm gonna look you right here in the camera. Um, for all these years that you have known me, I have been a diehard LeBron James fan. As Rihanna put it best in the memes, I'm not a Heat fan. It's wherever he at fan. All right. I know y'all like what I did there. I know y'all like what I did. I know y'all like what I did. Now, as I say this, only a few of you can actually back me up on this. Before LeBron James, I did have a team. I was a Phoenix Suns fan. I was a big Phoenix Suns fan. Steve Nash, Sean Marion, Amari Stoudemire. I can literally go on and on. I was reading into them when they drafted Robin Lopez on the team out of Stanford. So I was there. I went on the LeBron James train because of growing up. I loved the way he played. So with that being said, your boy has found his way back home. I'm trying not to cry right now.
Mm,
It's a little emotional. Phoenix Suns have just watching them play against the Lakers, play against LeBron. Normally, when I'm watching a team play against LeBron, I'm like, I cringe every time somebody shoots because, I want LeBron and the team to win. This was the one team where Devin Booker took a shot, and I was like, dang, that thing is beautiful. There was no cringing. And I was just like, wait a minute. Do I like this team again? Like, so yes, I am a Phoenix Suns fan. You don't have to believe me. I don't need you to believe me. If you do, hey, you do. If you don't, you don't. For the guys in the chat, hey, it is what it is. Um, I guess you'll see next year when I'm repping the Valley, jersey, shirt, shorts. I'm excited, man, to be a Suns fan again. I've never bought an NBA apparel, never bought a jersey because LeBron played for all the teams in the NBA. You can't buy a
can't
jersey.
keep up with it.
Yeah, you can't keep up with that. But I'm about to buy some shorts. I'm about to rep, the Phoenix, the Valley. Devin Booker is mini Kobe. And I respected Kobe, but I wasn't one of those who grew up where Kobe was my guy. Obviously, I was LeBron James because growing up, that's how I wanted to play. I wanted to get mine, but also facilitate, make the best play. Now in my life, I want a bucket. And Devin Booker is that guy. If I wanted to continue that, well, let me follow a guy who plays like who I want to play, it would have been Luca. Devin Booker is literally a walking bucket
Yeah.
and has been while the team was still bad. Now we get to see it in the playoffs. Everyone, he is no longer underrated. This is Devin Booker's here. So that's my little spiel. Caleb, I know you're listening. Valley Bros, me and you, man. If you end up getting go to a game, I'm gonna be super jelly. Send me something, bro. But as far as that's just my little spiel. What I had to go to again. You guys know. Let me know if you're happy for me. Let me know in the comments if you're happy for me. We'll go from there. My initial thoughts so far, the second round, just real quick, and I'll let Jake go to his. Is I'm shocked, but not shocked. So I'm shocked when it comes to the Suns Nugget series because I thought it would be a lot better than it was going to be, and the Suns just had other plans. CP3 is healthy. The team is just playing lights out. And then you got a guy who can get you 45 any night, every night if he
Hmm.
wanted to. Where I'm not shocked is because the Clippers should have been bounced last round. I'm not shocked really with the Nets, Bucks, and Sixers, Hawks. There's nothing there for me to elaborate on. So that's just where I have. Again, I just wanted to give you guys a little spiel on my newfound home, Phoenix.
You're so stupid.
Jake, let us know, man. What are your thoughts for the second round?
So for the second round, I really think the Eastern Conference is kind of boring right now. Um, it's gonna the Nets are gonna win this in five, and
Yeah,
then Philly's gonna win in five, and then Brooklyn's gonna sweep.
yeah.
That's essentially what's gonna happen.
I agree.
I love this Western Conference right now. The Phoenix Suns are gonna close it out tomorrow, and then Utah's gonna clean it. They're gonna close out the next two games, and then we're gonna probably see one of a conference final matchup where
It's gonna
these
be
two
beautiful.
players will probably match
Oh
up.
man. Oh no, they will. They play the same position.
That no, I'm saying we're gonna see them unless they join forces. We're gonna see them battling it to either win the finals or get to the finals,
Yeah.
probably for the next 10 to 12 years.
Yeah, man. Mitchell
That is
versus Booker.
Donovan Mitchell and Devin Booker.
Yeah.
Because Donovan Mitchell is the Flash, aka D Wade 2.0.
Easily. Easily hands
But
down.
he has that jump shot locked in.
Yeah.
He can kill you with a fadeaway at the three, or he can just blow right past you, drive in the lane, get the
Yeah.
contact finish. He's everything you want to be. I bet you he's what D Wade wanted to be. D Wade wanted that
Yeah.
jump shot. He eventually got a little better at it at the end, but
Just being healthy for D Wade would have been a win.
yeah, I don't know.
So
So I'm super excited for this conference final. I'm not even worried about right now in the semis because we already know who's gonna be in the conference.
yeah.
But Phoenix and Utah is probably gonna be the best matchup we've had in this playoffs.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. I'm not saying whoever comes out of the West can win the championship or that they will win the championship. I feel like if they do win the championship, regardless of if it's Utah or Phoenix, it's because the overall team for both units are just really good. As
I
of
know
right now,
it's not a walk in the park for the
yeah,
Nets.
as of right
It's
now,
not.
I'm a side with the Nets because of their big three. But if the Utah Jazz win it, the championship, or the Phoenix Suns win it, it'll be yes, they have their superstar in place, but the overall team around them is just really good. So that's why I feel they have the best, options to win it for the West. But
And
yeah,
I
man.
think Utah's team overall is the best.
Yeah, I would agree. Just because of defensively, I mean, Rudy Gobert is, three-time defensive
Joe
player of the year.
Ingles and the
Bogdanovich,
Bogdanovich,
yeah,
those two guys,
three and D
they're
wings. They're
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I would definitely agree with you on there. I think yeah, obviously we're getting ahead of ourselves, but we're not really because we all know the Jazz and Suns will play unless Donovan Mitchell gets hurt.
And I love Philly, but the Embiid and Simmons duo, it ain't
It's not
it.
really working. Yeah, I think it's
It's
time for
not
Simmons
it.
to go. I really
I
do.
love Ben Simmons, but he's not the
You
guy.
don't fit. You don't fit what they want to do.
I don't think he's the main guy on any team. I think
Which is
he's
yeah,
always gonna be the number two.
yeah. There's nothing wrong
Like
with
he's
that.
the guy that you add to your superstar
Yeah, I can see
that you
that.
already have. Like he's the guy that you match up with. If CP3 leaves, you try to go ahead and get Ben Simmons with Phoenix because you
Yeah,
need a
because
guy to run that team.
yeah, and they
Yeah.
space really well too. DeAndre Ayton isn't just your. Hey, I mean, no, he's not shooting threes, but he's out there setting picks and whatnot. So I get that. You guys let us know in the comments. What do you feel? What do you think about the playoffs so far in this round two? But that's pretty much all we have for our show this week. Again, we're so happy to be back. So to end us out, we have our favorite part of the show, your favorite part of the show, and the hype. Again, we reached out to you guys via our Instagram, excuse me, to see what you were hyped for. So we want to give a couple shout outs. We'll start off with my boy Cray up in Chi-Town. He said that he was hyped for a potential Suns versus Nets finals. Uh,
Mm.
I think that would be a nice finals too. Again, even if it's Utah, it's regardless. I think it's going to be a good finals. And then moving on to our boy Bank, Micah, he said that he was hyped for round three of the NHL playoffs. And obviously, he's a Lightning fan. So you guys stay tuned for that. We got something playing with our boy Micah and a little hockey. So, And then moving on to, I want to say it's Josh. If I'm wrong, Josh, I'm sorry, man. He said that he was hyped for Fast and the Furious 9 coming out. He said he's ready to see Dom's Charger turn into a
I saw
spaceship.
that.
Now, look, I'm not ready for this. To me, this should have been done after like the third one. But hey, if people are still gonna go watch it, I'm not mad at them. Get the money. We trying to see Fast and the Furious go, space, to see them
I know
like
that
they
they're so Vin Diesel, who basically is in charge of the entire like Fast and the Furious thing.
yeah.
He said that they're essentially done after 10.
Yeah, I saw that it was a 10
So
movie
I don't know.
contract.
I don't know if they move on without him or anything like that, but I know he's done.
Yeah, I wouldn't just
I mean, like you said, get the bag,
yeah, get the
but
bag, but it's like, gosh, man, how you guys
I'm
still?
still gonna see it though, just because I enjoy me some Vin Diesel.
I fell asleep watching the seventh one in theater. That's how bad it was for me. And then our other guy here, Caleb, said that he was hyped for Space Jam 2. You're not
Let's
the only
go.
one. LeBron is also. So
Shoot, LeBron's exit interview.
LeBron
Yo,
said, "Yeah, man, I'm not."
that exit interview
It was golf.
was.
He said, "I'm not playing for Team USA. I'm playing for Toon Squad, homie." So, but our friend PJ would say, of course, Kobe,
I
but whatever. But hey,
I love that exit interview because it showed me that LeBron said,
bro, I'm chilling.
"I'm not worried about
Yeah,
losing in the
I'm not
first
worried.
round." He's like, "I'm gonna
Yeah,
come back next year." You saw his post on Instagram
yeah, he
about coming
posted.
back with
Yeah,
vengeance.
yeah, for vengeance. So we'll see. This is where now we will say what we are hyped for. So I'll start off again. I gave you my whole spiel about being a Suns fan. I really am hyped, man. I'm really hyped about being that. Was even talking to my wife yesterday, and she could see the excitement coming off my face just of rooting for a team. So what does this mean? LeBron James plays the Suns. I'm going for the Suns.
Oh, this is on record,
This is
y'all.
on record.
This is on record.
This is on record. I'm not smiling. I'm being legit. If they play the Lakers, I'm going for the Suns. Now, LeBron
Man,
James right now is still my favorite player.
I
Don't get me
respect
wrong.
that. I respect.
But it's not like, oh, I'm not one of those where it's like, oh, well, it's a win-win for me. Suns lose, hey, LeBron won. LeBron loses, hey,
That was
Suns
me
won.
with Kobe when he played the Knicks. I always went for the Knicks, but Kobe
Yeah.
was still my guy.
Yeah. So if they lose, Suns lose, and LeBron ends up going to win the championship next year, whatever. Hey, that's cool. He's my favorite player. But again, that's what I'm hyped for. Ready to get this sweep tomorrow, man. And yeah, Jake, what are you hyped for?
So mine is NBA news, but I've seen tons of rumors for this offseason. So it's got me hyped,
Yeah,
like
man.
super hyped. Like we thought that this free agency class was kind of
Yeah,
but there's actually some hitters in that free agency class.
yeah.
Not superstars, obviously, but in players that can definitely help a team out. So I'm super excited, especially as like a Knicks fan, just to
And the
see because they have
potential trades
those
that
trade
could
because
happen.
the Knicks have about almost 60 million cap
Yeah,
and they got tons of draft picks. So I'm super excited to see what they do. Just this offseason in general. There's a lot of big names that are just aren't happy. Dame,
yeah,
get out of Portland. Right.
yeah. This
Dame,
Dame, and
just
then
get
also
out.
what the Clippers do. If they get
Luca, do not
yeah,
sign an extension.
yeah. There's so much, man. So again, and we're also hyped, man, to be back. It was a good week off. We're able to refresh, recharge, come up with some good ideas. Maybe look for some other small businesses to partner with as far as sponsorships. So that's another thing that we're both hyped for is to be back. We have a lot of things lined up as far as interacting wise with you guys on our story. Um, People to bring on the show with as well. So definitely stay tuned for the things that we have going on. Again, this is nothing without the support of you guys. Our first video podcast that came out 2 weeks ago, you guys killed it, man. You absolutely killed it with the views. So we appreciate your support, your love and support. But other than that, Jake, go ahead and say our closing words, man, and then it's out.
All right, guys. Like Matt said, we appreciate the love. We're super excited. It was a very needed week off. just a lot going on in everybody's lives. Just a nice little break. But man, we're coming back with some vengeance. That week off was a week off of recording, not a week off of thinking about the podcast. It was constantly just, all right,
Yeah.
what are we gonna do now? We got to get we got to get everybody involved more. We got to figure some things out. Pay attention to our stories. We're gonna be posting some stuff on there. Might ask for some questions, some help with some stuff also. So if you guys are knowledgeable in some things, hit us up because we're gonna be asking for some help for some things coming up. But man, just like Matt said, the support is huge. We appreciate it. We're just here, just doing something we love. We talk about sports all the time, so why not just put it on a podcast and see what other people think? But man, like you said, happy, super excited to be back. Love you guys. Thank you for the support and peace.
Regular Guys Podcast.